You've worked hard your entire life, saving and planning, dreaming of those golden years. You've earned the right to relax, to enjoy the fruits of your labor without a single worry. But what if I told you that even after a lifetime of careful planning, many seniors unknowingly make a few critical financial mistakes after turning 70? Mistakes that can slowly, silently drain their hard-earned nest egg, leaving them vulnerable and stressed. It's a heartbreaking reality, isn't it? The thought of losing what you've diligently built, just when you need it most. You picture yourself finally debt-free, with a comfortable cushion, perhaps even enough to leave a little legacy for your loved ones. But then a phone call, a persuasive promise, a well-meaning but misguided decision, and suddenly that security starts to erode. Have you ever felt a pang of anxiety when an unfamiliar number calls or a strange email lands in your inbox? Or perhaps a quiet worry when a family member asks for a loan and you feel the pressure to say yes, even when your gut tells you otherwise. These are the moments, dear friends, when our emotional vulnerabilities can become financial liabilities. Today we're going to bravely confront those anxieties. We're going to pull back the curtain on 4 incredibly common yet devastating financial blunders that seniors often fall into after 70. Knowing these pitfalls isn't about instilling fear, it's about empowering you with knowledge, giving you the tools to protect yourself, your peace of mind, and your precious savings. Stick around, because understanding these 4 mistakes is the first, most crucial step to safeguarding your financial future and living your retirement years with the joy and security you truly deserve. Let's dive right into the very first and perhaps most insidious financial trap: falling for high-return investment and healthcare scams. Imagine this: you receive a glossy brochure, or perhaps a smooth-talking stranger calls, promising incredible returns, guaranteed profits, or exclusive access to cutting-edge medical breakthroughs. They might offer a small initial perk, maybe a free seminar with lunch or a gift card, just to get you through the door, to earn your trust. "This is a limited-time opportunity," they'll whisper, or only for a select few discerning investors like yourself. They prey on our innate desire for security, our hope for a better future, and yes, sometimes, even our fear of missing out. They might weave complex tales about foreign investments, revolutionary technologies, or special government programs. They even mimic legitimate companies, using sophisticated websites and official-looking documents. I once heard about a kind gentleman, Mr. Henderson, who had meticulously saved for decades. He received a call from someone claiming to be from a reputable investment firm, offering an exclusive chance to invest in a new, highly profitable medical device that promised a 20% return in just 6 months. The caller was charming, persuasive, and seemed to know all the right terms. Mr. Henderson, eager to boost his modest savings, invested a significant portion of his retirement fund. The initial communications were frequent and reassuring, but after a few months the calls became less frequent, the promised statements never arrived, and eventually the phone number was disconnected. Mr. Henderson lost nearly everything. His trust and his savings were shattered. The heartbreaking truth is, if it sounds too good to be true, it almost certainly is. Legitimate investments carry risks, and truly high returns are rarely, if ever, guaranteed. Scammers exploit our desire for easy answers, especially when it comes to something as complex as finance or health. This isn't just about losing money, it's about losing the feeling of security, the confidence in your own judgment. So how do you protect yourself? Always be skeptical of unsolicited offers, especially those promising high guaranteed returns. Never rush into a decision. Take your time, do your research, and most importantly, consult with a trusted independent financial advisor or a family member who has a strong understanding of financial matters. Don't let a free lunch or a smooth talker convince you to part with your life savings. Your financial independence is worth far more than any fleeting promise. Now let's turn to the second costly mistake, one that often comes from the deepest, most loving place in our hearts: overextending family support. As parents and grandparents, our instinct is to protect and provide for our loved ones. We want to see our children and grandchildren thrive, to help them avoid the struggles we might have faced. So, when a child asks for help with a down payment, a grandchild needs tuition assistance, or a relative faces a sudden financial crisis, Our first impulse is often to open our wallets. We've all been there, haven't we? That moment when a child comes to you eyes wide with hope, explaining a dream or a dilemma. It's hard to say no. It feels unnatural, even cruel. You might think, I've saved this money for them anyway, eventually. Or, what's the point of having it if I can't help my own family? But dear friends, there's a critical line between support and self-sacrifice. Consider Mrs. Miller, a sweet widow who lived comfortably on her pension and a modest savings account. Her son, struggling with a new business venture, asked for a significant loan to cover his operating costs. He promised to pay her back with interest once the business took off. Mrs. Miller, wanting nothing more than to see her son succeed, emptied a substantial portion of her savings to help him. The business, unfortunately, did not succeed as planned. The son was unable to repay the loan, and Mrs. Miller found herself in a precarious financial situation, struggling to cover her own daily expenses and medical bills. The stress weighed heavily on her, and the unspoken disappointment created a rift in their loving relationship. This isn't to say we shouldn't support our families. Absolutely not. It's about ensuring that your generosity doesn't jeopardize your own well-being. Your financial security in retirement is not just for you. It's for your peace of mind, your independence, and your ability to truly enjoy your later years without being a burden on others. Remember, an emergency fund for yourself is paramount. If you deplete it, who will help you? Before offering substantial financial aid, ask yourself, can I truly afford this without impacting my own immediate needs and long-term security? Is this a gift or a loan? If it's a loan, do I have a clear, written agreement? And most importantly, am I prepared for the possibility that the money might not be repaid? Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for your family and for yourself is to set clear, kind boundaries. Your financial health is a gift to your family too, because it means they won't have to worry about you. Moving on to the third subtle yet persistent drain on seniors' finances, ignoring small persistent medical overspending. This isn't usually about huge, obvious scams, but rather the cumulative effect of seemingly minor repetitive expenses related to health. It's the endless stream of miracle cures advertised on late-night TV, the bulk purchases of vitamins you don't necessarily need, the unverified treatments pushed by alternative practitioners, or even simply not understanding your insurance coverage. Our health is our wealth, especially as we age. And with that comes a natural desire to do everything we can to maintain it, to ease aches, to feel better. Scammers and even some less ethical businesses know this. They understand that when we're feeling vulnerable or hopeful about our health, our guard might be down. Think about Ms. Chen, a spirited woman who experienced persistent knee pain. She saw an advertisement for a revolutionary magnetic therapy device that promised to alleviate all joint discomfort, with testimonials that seemed incredibly convincing. It was expensive, but the ad offered a special senior discount if she bought it with a year's supply of their proprietary pain relief cream. Desperate for relief, she purchased the package. The device offered no significant relief, and the cream was ineffective. But the company continued to send her special offers for refills and other supplementary products, automatically charging her credit card. Each charge was small enough not to immediately raise an alarm, but over months, these small persistent deductions amounted to hundreds, then thousands of dollars that could have been used for proven medical care or essential living expenses. This isn't about denying yourself necessary care. It's about being an informed and discerning consumer of health products and services. Always question claims that seem too good to be true. Consult with your trusted doctor before buying into unproven treatments or taking large quantities of supplements. Understand your insurance plan thoroughly so you don't overpay for services that are covered or pay for services you don't actually need. Be wary of high-pressure sales tactics for health products, especially those that insist you buy in bulk or sign up for recurring shipments. Check with your doctor if a supplement or treatment is genuinely necessary or if it interacts with other medications you are taking. Your health journey should be guided by sound medical advice, not by persuasive marketing. Protecting your health also means protecting your financial resources so you can afford the care that truly makes a difference. And finally, we arrive at the fourth, often neglected but potentially devastating mistake: unclear or premature estate planning and asset distribution. This might sound like a topic for a future date, something to consider someday. But dear friends, delaying or mishandling this crucial aspect of your financial life can lead to immense stress, family disputes, and even leave you without adequate funds for your own later life. Imagine a scenario where a loving family, after the passing of a beloved parent, suddenly finds themselves in a bitter dispute over assets because the wishes were not clearly documented, or worse, because assets were given away too early, leaving the parent financially vulnerable. This is not a distant, abstract problem. It happens in families every single day. Let's consider the story of the Johnson family. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, in their early 70s, decided to transfer the ownership of their home to their eldest son to avoid probate and simplify things for their children later on. They meant well, wanting to ease the burden on their heirs. However, a few years later, Mrs. Johnson developed a serious illness requiring extensive long-term care. Without the home as an asset in their name, they had fewer options for financing her care, and their savings quickly dwindled. They found themselves in a difficult position, reliant on their children, including the son who now owned their home, to cover their ongoing living and medical expenses. Transferring assets prematurely can have unintended consequences, especially regarding eligibility for certain public assistance programs like Medicaid, which have look-back periods for asset transfers. It can also leave you without access to assets you might desperately need for your own care, housing, or unforeseen expenses later in life. Equally important is ensuring your estate plan is clear, up-to-date, and communicated effectively. This means having a valid will, designating beneficiaries for all your accounts, and considering powers of attorney for both financial and healthcare decisions. These documents are not just about what happens after you're gone. They are about protecting your wishes and your well-being now and in the future. The key here is not to avoid planning, but to plan wisely and timely. Seek professional advice from an elder law attorney or a reputable financial planner specializing in estate planning. They can help you understand the nuances, the tax implications, and how to structure your assets to protect both your legacy and your current needs. Don't leave your family guessing, and don't leave yourself exposed. A well-thought-out plan is a gift of peace of mind to yourself and your loved ones. So there you have them, dear friends. The 4 costly financial mistakes seniors often make after 70. Falling for high-return scams, overextending family support, ignoring small medical overspending, and unclear or premature estate planning. Each one a potential silent drain on your hard-earned pension, your peace of mind, and your ability to enjoy the golden years you've worked so diligently for. Remember, protecting your pension isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about preserving your independence, your dignity, and your ability to live without constant financial worry. It requires vigilance, rational planning, and sometimes the courage to say no or to ask for help from trusted professionals. Your financial awareness now is the greatest safeguard for your future. Is your retirement fund safe? Take a moment right now and honestly consider if you might be at risk for any of these mistakes. It's never too late to review your financial situation, to question an offer, or to seek expert advice. If this video resonated with you, if it sparked a thought or offered a moment of clarity, please share it. Send it to the seniors in your life, your parents, your friends, your neighbors. Help them guard their finances just as you are guarding yours. Your simple act of sharing could prevent a lifetime of regret for someone you care about. And if you're looking for more practical, gentle guidance on navigating life's later chapters with joy, peace, and security, then please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Join our community where we explore timeless wisdom and practical advice for living your best life every single day. Your future self will thank you. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to connecting with you in our next video.